Alright, chat. So, I'm about to explain this new game I invented, this new sport, and I think it's pretty interesting, chat. So, I want to get right into this, right? I'm gonna show y'all what this sport's called. So, first off, the sport is called Zoneball, right? It's called Zoneball, and it's inspired by it's partially because a lot of niggas, whenever I tell niggas about this, they're like, I don't know, bro. It's like two or more like it's like 2% baseball and then like 98% football shot, right? 2% baseball. Because you see the main field, what it looked like, it looked like a baseball diamond. That's the only aspect of baseball in this game. Actually, you could say it's like 2% baseball, one oh whoops, baseball, 1% soccer, football, whatever y'all I call it football, but I'm gonna call it soccer because Americans are gonna be seeing this. 1% basketball, simply for the fact that I'm gonna show y'all why it's 1% basketball. Actually, it's not 1% basketball. I'm bugging. And then 97% football. I'll show y'all why it's that 1% of soccer. Right? There's no kicking in this game. You're just gonna see why, right? So this is pretty easy. This says home team, right? All right, this says home team. I know this is away team there. I'm remaking the field for away team. I'm gonna explain it I'm gonna explain everything on the home team field, right? You're gonna understand, right? So in baseball, right? Let me call this the starting point. Starting point right here. This is the starting point, chat. This is the starting point, right? That's the starting point for zone ball, right? Out of bounds line. So if you go out, obviously you gotta go out with the ball. That's probably where that 1% of soccer comes in. You can be out of bounds as long as the ball is in bounds. So, right, in that instance, you don't got to worry about toes like in football, right? You don't got to worry about that shit. I'm explaining it to some of y'all real quick, right? You have the first zone, which, all right, I'm going to explain something. First zone, in fact, let me explain how to play the game first before I explain the point system, right? So, the objective of the game is you start from home. I know it's just four, but I'm going to explain that later. You start from home, H for home, starting point, as it says, right? You have the ball. Now I'm gonna show some. I'm gonna do that later. But your objective is to complete all the zones one through home, but home through fourth. So you go home first, second, third, and then this would become fourth. Right? Once you get to the third zone, this becomes fourth. Now I'm gonna tell you why this becomes the fourth zone. It's gonna make sense in a second. So the first zone equals 1 point. Second zone equals 2 points. Third zone equals 3 points. And suppose if you reach this zone right here after getting third, it will be 4 points. So essentially, if you manage to reach all four zones, it will be 1, 3, 6, 10 points. Yeah, 10 points that easy, right? But here's the thing about this game. So in this game, let me make sure I'm getting this right because I just recently wrote the rules, so you gotta like. All right. So also, when it comes to the time of this game, right? It's 4 quarters. Let me write it somewhere. Let me write it somewhere. Let me write it somewhere. Right here. 4 quarters, 12 minutes. That's probably where the basketball aspect comes in. I don't know how long quarters are in fucking football. I'm not a big football person. I know soccer doesn't have quarters, it has halves, and baseball has innings. I don't know how innings really. Actually, I do know how innings work. I guess I don't know, but besides the point, right? 4 quarters and 12 minutes, right? So a whole zone ball game is 48 minutes long, right? Right. And the thing about this game is like you think football, right? That means you think if I reach one zone or if I get tackled somewhere, does that mean that we start at a down? No, that's not how it works, chat, right? This is a type of game where the ball is kept in play at all times. The only time the ball is not in play anymore is if a team reaches the fourth zone, meaning that the opposite team now has to start from this zone because, all right, let me explain. If one team, suppose the home team scores here, right? Now the away team gets the ball after, and then they have to do their shit, right? But I'm gonna show the away team field in a second because it's not like you switch fields. It's just that you go in a different order because it'll make sense in a second, right? So, right. So let me go by the list. All right. So I went over offense, right? So there's 8 people on a team, right? I'm gonna explain the positions in a second. So the main position, right? I'm gonna draw this out on the field real quick. I'm gonna draw this out on the field, right? So your main primary dude, right? We're gonna make home red. We're gonna make home red, chat. So your main dude back here, I put him in the zone right here. This is your passing back right here, chat. This is the team's quarterback pretty much, right? This is the dude that passes the ball, all that shit. Man, let me make this on a different like this. This is your passing back, right? This dude makes all the plays. He passes the ball. What the? Let me fix this because this is bugging out. All right. This is the dude that makes all your plays. He passes the ball, all that shit, right? Now, the rule about passing backs, I'll explain in a second. I'll explain later, actually, because it ties in with a different position, right? But you mainly score by passing it into the zones, right? Right. Obviously, if you pass it into the zones, this kind of looks small for a player. I don't think the zone would. I don't think the distance between zones would be this great. Like this is kind of crazy. This is kind of a crazy distance, but right. But right, like yeah, you basically are the quarterback. You pass the ball. You're behind the entire team. All that shit. I think you understand what a QB is if you played. If you played football, you watched it or whatever. All right, next position. Right, next position is your side receivers. Your side receivers. They probably be around here, probably around the corners, near the corners, I'd say. Right. So your side receivers, kind of not exactly how I want to play, but this your side receivers right here. These are your side receivers. So your side receivers, their objective is if you know what a wide receiver is, that's basically it. You basically run, get open, find, make routes for yourself, all that shit, catch the ball, right? Now, the thing about this position is that what makes it unique is that right, there's one unique feature about this position. So in football, if you know something, you know that fullbacks and wingers in football and soccer have to do throw-ins. Suppose the ball goes out for the home team. Now the away team side receiver, say the away team side receiver would now have to do a throw-in for wherever the ball went out of bounds from. So that's how throw-ins work, right? So I just explained that feature. Yeah. So if the ball goes out, it's a throw-in, right? You don't start from the home zone if it goes out. You just throw it in from wherever. You know what I mean? So you have the side receivers. Now the unique. All right. Now the thing about passing backs, there can only be one passing back. Right? It can only be one QB. But the thing about what's it called? The thing about side receivers is that there can be up to 4 side receivers, but at minimum there can only be 2, right? So suppose, right, I have 3. This is the unique part. This is the unique part about having 3. This is why I like. This is why having 3 just feels like it would be fun. I don't know. But suppose you have 3 side receivers, right? The third one would play more of a free role. So meaning like this dude would go back and forth. Sometimes like, he can go over here, right? He can go over here and he can play on the right side, or he can go over here and he can play on the left side, right? He can alternate between sides. Either that, or you can have 4 of them, and now you just have like 2 threats over here. Like you just have 2 threats. Now this obviously comes at a cost because look at this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players already, and you need 8 players on the field. So you're like you're giving so much faith into your side receivers right here to the point where you already have 5 players on the field, which is crazy. I'm gonna show y'all why in a second. Right? You better hope that your side receivers are tough enough because look, right? Actually, I'm gonna keep the D. I'm gonna make a default formation for y'all. Yeah, I say this is the default formation. Like soccer has 4-3-3. I'd say this is Zoneball's 4-3-3 right here, right? So now the next position is the mid what was it? Yeah, wait. The rushing backs. So obviously, I think it's obviously what this position would be. This right here, my friends. This position is the running back, halfback, or whatever fucking the position where you hand off the ball, all right, to the QB hands off the ball, the passing back hands off the ball to them, and they try to run in, juke, and all that shit. Now, the thing is, obviously, I said this wouldn't be that great of a distance, but it would be pretty great of a distance. And you gotta think, it's gonna be a clusterfuck over here. So it's not gonna be that easy for them to navigate. So here's the thing about passing. Here's the thing between these 3 positions: the side receivers and the rushing backs and the passing back. So suppose the rushing back is stuck somewhere, like they're about to get tackled or something, or they're about to get the ball stolen from them. Oh yeah, I'm gonna explain defense in a second, like how you can defend it, but suppose something like that, like they're stuck or something. They can pass it back to the passing back, or 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 they can pass it to the. Wait, let me make sure I'm making this right. Yeah, they can pass it back over here, or suppose let's make a play real quick. Let's make a play real quick. So suppose the oh my fucking god. Suppose the what's it called? The rushing back over here, right, chat? The rushing back, he makes a forward run. Like he just managed to make a good forward run over here, right? We're gonna make some plays, right? I feel like it'd be good if I make an in-game aspect of how this shit works, right? So now this nigga's like right here. This is our rushing back. He ran all the way over here. But now, let's say he's stuck because you got some defenders over here. They're about to get on his ass. They're about to get on his ass, right? I'm going to defend the defense position. I'm going to explain the defense position in a second. But let's just say these niggas are about to get on his ass, and he needs to do something, right? So you have a couple options. He can just dead dime it all the way back to the passing back if he's good enough to do that, right? Under pressure and all that shit, fatigued, and you're running. That takes some effort, right? Or the side defend the side no whoopsies, I just leaked position. The side backs, the the side receivers can come in and help and be like, yo, bro, pass me the ball, I'm open, I can run around, I can do something. Or like they can come over here, they can come closer, they can do like a wraparound, something like that, like a little wraparound move, like he runs around, he gets a handoff, right? The rushing back would hand off to the side receiver running around. Right? You can do handoffs like that as long as the ball is passed backwards, right? So it would be like an offside line, right? There's two offside lines in this game. I'm explaining in a second, but as long as the players that he's passing back to are behind him, it's legal. Just like in football. Like just like in football, when you have them throws, what do you call them again? I don't know, lateral throws. I don't fucking remember. But you can pass back, you can pass to the side. You cannot. They can't run forward and pass like that. You can't do that. You can't do that. That's illegal. That would be offsides. That doesn't count. You can't do the right. So I'm done with that play. Right. Same goes with the side receiver. If he's stuck right here, the rushing back probably run like a little play. It's probably better for a rushing back to do this because this is what they're built to do. They're built to run through crowds. They're strong. They're fast. I'd say they're the most athletic player on the field because they're fast. They're strong. They probably have some like jumping ability. Obviously, side receivers will probably be the best jumpers. But these guys all around, from all around athleticism, these are your guys, right? These guys are going to be quick, agile, Basically, you expect out of a wide receiver. So that's this position. They're mainly built for handoffs, and it's not like they can't receive passes, right? If they're good enough to do something like a route or something like a slant. I don't know. They can also receive passes, but their main job is to get handoffs and just to run in and shit, right? Just like a normal running back in the NFL, right? In football, right? I think you guys understand it, right? Now the next position, right? Everyone knows that the QB needs some sort of protection because the defense is going to constantly be blitzing. So what better protection than the frontliners, right? I think we obviously know what this position is. I probably shouldn't explain, kind of obvious, but now you're seeing a little bit how this game works out, right? This is your lineman. This is your running back. Obviously, the running back will probably be back here, but the reason why he's in front instead is to help with blocks and shit, help with back pass opportunities. Like I said, if a nigga's stuck, this nigga runs out here. This nigga can probably be like, yo, I'm wrapping around. I'm wrapping around. Pass me the ball. I'm wrapping around. Something like that. You know what I mean? Some slick playmaking. Some slick playmaking. You know what I mean? Where it can be like, yo, reset right here, bro. Reset. And then he like passes back. I'm telling you, I'm showing y'all what I think, right? Right? Just showing y'all what I think, right? Now the main job of these guys, right, is to help protect the passing back when the passing back has the ball. Or suppose this nigga's making a run over here. Their job would be to follow this nigga, right, in orderly fashion. Right, orderly. You see how they're all lined up. So therefore, right, they create this wall, right? Obviously, they create this wall, right? And now, all right, wait. Probably want to curve this wall a bit so this nigga has like an opportunity to run in. So they create this space for the side back to run into. You see it now. Like you're seeing the vision, chat. You see the vision, right? I might make it so it's limited, so like you can't run past this line. That's probably gonna be a new rule. You can't run past this line because it would be kind of unfair for this nigga to like strictly have to run around in this space, and they don't have this extra space like this nigga, right? Everyone would want to be a left. Everyone on home team would want to be the left side receiver, right? Everyone would want to be the left side receiver if they got all this space. So obviously, you gotta still stay within this line. So obviously, here's a good example, right? This nigga just going out of bounds right here. You can't do that. You can't do that, chat. You can't go out of bounds. So let me actually add these lines. Right? See, even me, I'm like learning more about this sport myself, chat. So don't worry, we're all learning. We're all learning. I'm learning about the flaws within the sport. So now I'm gonna add these lines. Add these lines for y'all, chat. I'm gonna add them. Oh, you know, I probably should. Delete all this shit right here. Yeah, there you go. Then I can add the lines, right? So these are some new lines added, some out of bounds lines, right? Cannot be out of bounds right here, right? Now you're probably wondering, what's the middle for? I don't know, chat. Middle is just a useless area on the pitch. You can't go in the middle. I'd say the middle. I don't know what the middle would have. I guess the middle. I guess the referee would be in the middle. This is the referee zone. Hold up, chat. So that means when it comes to throw-ins, you're right, out of bounds. Out of bounds. But let me write it smaller. I also need to write something else. So this would also be out of bounds, right? The out of bounds lines right here. So now you're seeing this come together a little bit. And now, referees in the Chili's games usually be like cold, so it'd usually be yellow, right? So we're just gonna. This would be the referee. Think right here. This is the referee, right? It's not really a position, but like I'd say, where else would it be best for a referee to play? There's gonna be constant clusterfucks in between zones. This nigga can't just like, oh hey man, what's good, bro? Like, nah, he's gonna get fucked up, right? Like, look, he really has no space to go into, right? The side receivers gonna be running up, front liners gonna be here. Everyone's gonna be blitzing the front liners. right? I guess the best space is to be like right here. You know, if he wants to get a little peek. He wants to get a little peek. If he wants to get a little peek, he goes behind. So he goes behind the passing back, whatever. He can roam around a bit. But I'd say the safest space for the referee is to stay in this diamond-esque shape, you know. This is the referee space right here. Referee has all this space to walk around in and shit. So he doesn't get fucked up or anything or injured, you know what I mean? Right? We want to keep our referees safe, chat. We want to keep them safe, right? Referee safety first, right? All right, let me stop yapping, right? So I went over all the offensive positions. You got your passing back, QB. You have your rushing back / running back. You have your two side receivers, right? Or your wide receivers. You have your frontliners or your offensive linemen. Pretty simple, right? Look, and what you would call this formation is 2-1-4, right? It goes in order from formation order. Let's go over formation order real quick. Formation order. Okay, hold on. Formation order. So it goes side, receivers, then rushing backs, then front line. And you're probably wondering, are we not including the fucking passing back? Because there could obviously think of it as like a goalkeeper. You don't include a goalkeeper in a formation. Otherwise, every formation will just start with one. That's stupid, right? Obviously, we know that the passing back is there, just like we know that the goalkeeper is there. We don't need to add the goalkeeper to the formation. So, this formation, what do you think this chat is 2-1-4? Is 2-1-4. This would be our what do you call it again? This would be our 4-3-3. This would be our 4-3-3. This is our default formation, right? Now I'm gonna go over some other formations you can have, right? So some other formations you can have. This is the default one, but you can also have 3-1-3, so 3 side receivers, right? 3 frontliners, and one of these niggas, 1 rushing back. You can have 2-2-3. This is a little bit more balanced. I say this is more balanced. This is more balanced. You're gonna have 2 rushing backs, but you're gonna lose a frontliner, right? Right? Then you have 4-0-3. Yeah, this one's crazy, right? This one's crazy because look, now you have no rushing backs, but in return, you're gonna have 2 extra side receivers. That's all I'm saying. That'll be a risky formation to run because not only do you lose a frontliner, but you lose your rushing back. Rushing backs can help block. They can low-key be like the last resort. But next one, I'd say this one's a little bit less risky. 3-0-4. So you have your 4 frontliners still, but now you have extra side receiver. I say that's a better one to run, more safer to run. I'm not saying that this is a bad formation. People can make 4-0-3 work. I'm just saying this is probably safer. Then you have 2-0-5. This shit right here, bro, is like you do like you just don't want your niggas to get fucking like fucked up, right? You remove a rushing back and you put it in another frontliner, right? So obviously, I think we're getting the theme here that there can only be 2 out of all the formations. There's none where it says there's 1 side receiver. There has to be 2 rushing backs. There doesn't have to be any. There can be 0, or there can be 2, or there can be 1. And for frontliners, that at least has to be 3, as you're seeing. There at least has to be 3, but there can be 4, and then there can be up to 5 maximum, right? So that's formation order for offense. That's the offensive formation order because obviously there's a defensive formation order, right? So that's it for offense. Now we're gonna go over defense, right? So let me recap offense real quick. So you have the passing back, he passes, side receivers, they can run in the zone catcher, or they can catch it somewhere in this space, or they can try to run in the zone. Rushing backs, their main objective, they get a handoff from the passing back and they try to run into the zone, right? Or they can play as a receiver as well and catch it, right? They can do that as well, right? If the side receiver side receivers or the rushing back were to ever get stuck and they're getting like raided by defenders somewhere, they can always pass it back to the passing back, or they can pass it to the side receiver, or the side receiver can pass it to the rushing back, right? Either or actually, no, I'm about to say the side receiver can pass to us side receiver. They can't do that. Side receivers, I'm like, I'm not gonna say they can do that. I'm gonna just say it wouldn't be smart to do that. Because think about it like this: you have the side receiver coming around here, unless if y'all have like orderly like like chemistry. Like you can be like, oh, I'm gonna go around here, and then you just cut around here. All right, I guess. But at that point, that's where a third side receiver would be useful and like very useful. Like I'd say, having a third side receiver would be mad useful in this situation. Like you just have a nigga roaming around. Like suppose this nigga gets stuck, oh I'm over here, and they're quick. They're gonna be quick players, so he's gonna quickly, agilely zip through. Let me make sure. Let me make anyways, right? I don't know if y'all can see my mouse. That's the one thing. I'm doing a lot of moves with my mouse. I don't know if y'all can see my mouse. If y'all can't, that's kind of sad. I don't know. But suppose this nigga makes a run, and let's act like this nigga right here is the side receiver, because I would have to delete some shit. I don't fuck it. You know what? All right, yeah, we're just gonna make this nigga the side receiver. So suppose he's a side receiver. This nigga's stuck. So now this nigga. All right, let's pretend. Um, fucking God. Whoa. Oh fuck. You know what? I'm on the wrong line. All right, there you go. All right, now let me redo this. This nigga runs forward. And now he's stuck. About to get booty raped by some defenders right here. Like a defender right here. Right? A big dude. Like he's gonna chuck him and then he's gonna lose the ball. Right? So now this nigga, right? Like, well, let me just draw one. Let me just draw a third side receiver. Pretend there's 9 niggas on. Pretend there's 8 niggas on the field. Pretend this nigga don't exist. Pretend this nigga right here doesn't exist. He doesn't exist right now. Right? Right? Suppose he can be like, nah. In fact, let's make it a better situation where he'd be right here. He'd be on this side right here. He can run all the way over. Be quick. He can run behind the passing back right here. And I was like, yo, bro, pass it to me. And now this nigga would just pass to him. And then he can probably like run off around this nigga right here. So now you're seeing like you can have a little bit of tiki taka with each other, right? Go back and forth with it. So really, if you really think about it, the third side receiver could be like more of a playmaker role. Chad, I'm telling you, like I'm learning how to play my own sport as I'm explaining this. I'm glad I made this video because now I'm learning how to play my own sport, which is funny, right? Like the blood, like you expect blood to know the tactics in the sport, right? Now I just developed a tiki taka tactic, right? The third side receiver can just come up, pass it. Oh wait, whoopsies, whoopsies. Wait. Oh shit, you can't do tiki taka. You wanna know why, chat? Because you can't pass forward, dumbass. I'm like, what you can do, you can be like this. You can pass it back, and he runs forward, and he passes it over here, and he runs here, and he passes it here, and he runs here, passes it here, and you can pass it to the side of you. As long as they're lined up with you, you can pass to the side of them. You can only pass back, or you can pass to the side, but you can't pass forward. So you can dash, just run forward, bam, run back, bam, 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 run forward into the zone. Easy, easy, easy points right there. Tiki taka, chat, right? So, you know, if you wanna if Achilles makes this game and you wanna run tiki taka in this game, you can. It'll just be some extra steps. Like you can't just be this. Nah. You gotta do this forward, bam, forward, bam. I mean like the thing about this game is that suppose the ball falls on the floor, technically, oh nah, chat. New rule. So now this game has through balls, right? You can do through ball passes. So suppose I'm here. Well, I'm gonna draw the circle so it's less confusing. But this nigga's here, right? And then let me draw a white line for the ball. I can pass it here, right? And now this nigga can run up and receive the ball. So tiki taka is possible. New rule added, chat. You can pass the ball forward, it can fall on the ground. As long as someone on your team retrieves it, one, it's a completed pass, and two, you gotta still remain in possession. So it's not like in football where you have to stop the play because the ball falls on the ground. No, you can pass it on the ground on purpose and do tiki taka. You can do tiki taka, chat. But the only position I can pass the ball forward is obviously the passing back, like I said. Oh, also I forgot to explain what the passing back. So the passing back cannot pass the frontliners. You're probably wondering, how the fuck am I gonna like get through and score? Like, what if I want to score in the zone? Here's the thing. Think of the frontliners as an offside line. There can be one roaming frontliner. This thing can go all the way into here, right? It can go all the way into here. And now the offside line is over here. So if this nigga roams into this space, sure, you're gonna lose a frontliner. But suppose your passing back is athletic. Like, this nigga can run pretty well. Now this nigga is free to run into this space. And even that, and on top of that, he's free to do tiki takas with his side defenders, do shit like this, all of this goofy shit, and then it can lead to, like, y'all not seeing like the vision. Like, I'm just a playmaker, so I can see it easily. Like, it just forms into my head. But look, there can always be this one frontliner that plays more as like a rolling role. Like, they want to be like, yo, chat, I want y'all to move up more, right? If the frontliners move up more, sure, it's more risky. Like, it's gonna be easier for defenders to sneak through. Right, it's gonna be easier for them to sneak through, obviously, right? Or there's gonna be holes in the formation and shit. Like, they can break through. Like, suppose this thing was gone, just break through, tackle the whoever this thing is, right? Tackle the passing. Forget my own formations, position. But yeah, right. Yeah, I'm glad I went over offense one more time because I literally just explained like 3 extra rules, right? One of them just got added, right? So yeah, new rule, chat, to the offense. You can pass forward as long as the nigga's lined up with you or behind you. So then he can retrieve it like it's a through ball in soccer, right? And what else? Oh yeah, as long as a frontliner is up, the passing back can go into the space, but he cannot pass it. He cannot pass the frontliner that goes up, or it'll be offsides, and it'll be the other team's ball. So there you go, chat. That's offense. I'm pretty sure I explained everything for offense. Pretty sure I did. So next, yeah, defense. Now, the first position on defense is your lurking back. Your lurking back, right? I think we all know what this is. This is basically a safety. They stay in the zone, or they roam around the zone. Maybe they'll be around here, but you don't see me, because it's not like they can't stand out of bounds. It's not like they can't stand outside the zone. They can be like, boom, I just came out of nowhere and they intercept it, or they like swatted away out of bounds, whatever the fuck they want to do. Oh, whoopsies, I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, that's your what you call it? That's your lurking back. That's what they do. They stay in the zone or lurk around, try to catch things off guard. They can really go anywhere, but they start here, and they mainly want to be here. But if they want to make risks, make plays, they can lurk around, all that shit. All right. All right. Also, they're the only position. Also, they're the only position that can go like around, right? They can go around and shit. Actually, no, I'm not gonna make it like that. Because if that were the case, it would make it harder for frontliners to block people. So I'll make it so that you just can't go out of bounds, but you can lurk around and shit in this zone, right? You can be like a sneaky bastard, right? Now next, you got your side defenders. Got your side defenders, right? It's pretty obvious. These are your cornerbacks, right? They're gonna be off the rip. Well, no, they're not gonna be here. I'd say it'd probably be more like, let me think. I'd say a safe. I'm gonna make like a starting line, like a probably like right here. Probably be like around here, right? So they be here, and their job is obviously to defend these niggas, right? They defend these niggas, or suppose this nigga runs out and tries to receive the ball, they can come around, use their athleticism, jump over him or something, or jump around him, go around, use their agility, intercept the pass or something. They can do that. They can do that. So that's what they do. All right. Next position. Hold up. Let me go over to the next position. Next position is your midliners. Now these niggas, right? These niggas act as, let's say, hold up. I'm looking at this right. All right, yeah. All right. Let me go over the default formation. So let's put two here. Put two. Put two here. So these niggas act as, the defensive equivalent of rushing back, right? So they're strong, fast, athletic. They have good stamina, all that shit. They're just all around. I'd say I'd say they're the most threatening players on the field because they can come around, guard these niggas easily, pretty well. They can rush through. They can rush around, right? They can do all that shit. They can maybe play as a lurking role, like an extra lurker, all that shit. They can really do anything, Chad. Like they're like the most all around defensive position, right? But thing is, they're not as fast as these niggas, and they're not as high jumping as these niggas. Like the lurking back would have the best out of everyone in this field. Lurking back has the best jumping, right? Sure, you have the side receivers and the side defenders. They have like second best. They're both equal when it comes to agility. When it comes to agility and speed and jumping, they're like pretty good, right? But this nigga is just like jumping is his thing. Like the lurking back, like I'm telling you, if the ball, he's taking that, right? If it's a one on one, and this nigga's right here, they're side to side, the lurking back, the lurking back is gonna win it, right? If that was a side, I mean, and usually when it comes to defense, the side receivers becomes the side defenders. The midliner becomes what do you call this? The rushing back becomes a midliner, and suppose it's a specific like weirdest formation. I guess if we make this into a video game, you can it would be like that one game. It would be like you can choose between like an offensive and defensive position, and it would just switch possessions. So if you're on offense, you'd have your offensive position. If you're on defense, you have your defensive position. So if you're a frontliner on offense, you can be a lurking back on defense. Although that would be inconvenient for like running, like you positioning and shit. That would be kind of inconvenient. Usually, you'd want your lurking back to be your passing back. So if the lurking back is right, because you're already going to be back here. So suppose you throw an interception, you're already back here, right? The passing back is already going to be back here in his zone where he needs to be in defense. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever, right? So let me explain. So all right. So I went over the midliners, right? Obviously, defensive threats. Now next, you got you got your blitz liners. Okay. Got your blitz linemen. I think it's obvious what these niggas do. Defensive linemen. These niggas are the defensive line, right? They want to try to break through these niggas and take the nigga ball from this nigga, right? Pretty easy. So this formation right here would probably be. This would probably be like what do you call this? This would be 2-2-3. Side defenders being first, just like the side defenders being first. Then the midliners would be where the rushing backs are, and the frontliners would be the blitz line. So let me go over defensive formations now, right? Make sure I over defensive formations. Let me put it right here. Defensive formations. It would be a side defender, midliner, blitz liner, right? Let's go over this. One formation The formation I'm doing right now is the default. This would be the 4-3-3 for defense. It would be 2-2-3, right? Two side defenders, two midliners, and three blitz liners, right? And she got 3-1-3. Three side defenders, one one midliner and three blitz liners. And next you have 2-1-4. Four blitz liners, one midliner, and two side defenders. Now, probably be like, damn, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 times more, 2 times more formations than defenders. And that's because defense, I feel like it needs to have like a solid formation. So like having more like flexibility for a defensive formation might ruin the game. But I don't know, chat. I'm willing to take suggestions and shit. I'm gonna send this to Achilles first, so we're gonna see what he says. But I'm willing to take suggestions. Right, we're 40 minutes in, by the way. That's actually crazy. I've been talking for 40 minutes, but right, obviously rush through and all that shit. You know what I mean? You rush and shit. All right, now I think I'm pretty sure I explained everything about this game. Oh yeah, when it comes to defending, right, there are a couple ways you can get the ball. Now the easiest way is that this nigga just passes it out of bounds, right? Passes it out of bounds like that, right? All right. He just passes it out of bounds, and now it's your ball. You do a throw-in, right? Right. That's probably the easiest way. Next way, suppose this nigga throws it around this nigga. Now he takes the ball, interception, boom, and he can run it in. He can pass back to his lurking back. Well, the lurking back would then become a passing back. He can pass it back if he wants to reset, you know, because it'd be kind of risky to, you know, run it, you know, because if you run it, you have this nigga, these niggas, this nigga here too. You have, yeah, it's risky, like it's risky, but when you intercept it, always pass it back to one of these niggas, or you can pass it back to this, right? Be small with it, right? And you're not forced to run forward. You can run backwards if you want to, right? And another way, you can just like suppose like the side defender gets here. I don't know why he would be here. That's actually stupid. Suppose a midliner gets here. He can just steal the ball like basketball. He just poke the ball at his hands. Ball falls on the floor and he just like dives onto it and takes it. Right? He just takes the ball, right? That would result in a point. That would result in a point right there, chat. So you can just poke the ball out of the passing back's hands, right? Or this nigga can just go all power, bam. He just like bam, like he just bam, bro. Like he just hits him hard. Or these niggas, bam, they just hit him hard, bro. They kill him, bro. They kill him, bro. Right? They kill him like that. Boom. Now this nigga, the ball falls out of his hands. The ball's right. I switched them, bro. Ball's right here, and now these niggas over here pick it up, and I was on a point, right? Oh yeah, also, yeah, I gotta explain how interception point works. Interception points. But suppose you intercept here, right? Suppose you get an interception here, you get 4 points. You get 4 points if you get an interception here. So that I'm saying is you gotta play heavy defense in the beginning, because if you play heavy defense and pop the ball or intercept it and you run in here, that's 4 points. That's 4 points, right? But since this is the fourth zone, like I said, it would reset and it would return back to the home team. So if the away team pops them, scores in the zone, it would restart. It would go back to the home team, since they pretty much reached the fourth zone. This team, they reached the fourth zone. So right, next, right, pretty sure that's it. Stealing it or like tackling them hard and popping it out of their hands and just recovering it. Or you can intercept the pass, or I don't know, if you put enough pressure on the QB to where he throws it out of bounds, you can do that, right? So that's how you get the ball on defense, right? That's the methods, right? So pretty sure that's it for offense and defense and all that shit. Now I'm gonna go over the fields, like how the field works. Let me remove all these niggas on the field real quick. So you have the field right here. So it goes home, 1, 2, 3, 4, obviously, but that's for home. Now let me switch this around, and it's gonna make a little bit more sense. Oh wait, wrong layer. Oopsies. All right, it's obviously in reverse, but okay. I think y'all understand how this works, right? So suppose you take the ball. All right, suppose you take the ball here. Suppose you take the ball here, right? You take the ball here. Okay, hold up. Bro, I'm about to get mad. Bro, okay, flip. You take the ball in their first zone. Like you intercept it here, and you intercept it in the first zone. I'm gonna flip it. You'd end up in your third zone. So, right? Y'all, this is probably gonna be the most confusing part of the entire video right here, chat. If you intercept it, all right, your home team, no, your away team, right? This will be the home team route. It'd go here to here to here to here to get all their points. They get all total of 10 points. All right. But suppose you intercept the ball here. Now you do a little flippity dippity, and let me make a scoreboard, right? So it's 0-0, right? Suppose you intercept the ball in their first zone. Now you have 1 point, and it would flip. So now you're in the third zone. You start in this third zone because you intercepted it, and now you can go straight to the fourth zone. And suppose you score in this zone, because this is away team's fourth zone, because away team starts from here. Oh no, I'm dumb. They start here, but they take the opposite route. They go here, then they go second, then they go third, then they go home / fourth or whatever, right? Suppose they score here, it would go from 0-1 to 0-5 because they scored 4 points. This makes it so the point system has a little bit of like, it varies a bit, you know, like it's not just gonna be straight like, you know, because if you go all from 1, 2, 3, 4, it would be 1, then it would be 3, then it would be 6, then it would be 10. Now, like suppose you get an interception in the second zone, right? You get 2 points, right? But then you flip it because you flip it. Now you have to go to your third zone. The away team have to go to their third zone, and suppose you reach the third zone, it would be 0. You have 5 points, and suppose you get into your fourth zone, you'd have 9 points. See how the point system has a little bit of like it's kind of different-ish, you know what I mean? But I think that's about it. But I think, you know, if y'all have more questions, right, I think the hardest part is understanding this, because it is kind of confusing. But I try to make it a away team field, but it's like that's an older version. It didn't make sense compared to the one I'm making now. So ignore this one. Just think of it like it's flipped. The field just flips. So this would be home team. This would be away team. If I intercept the ball in third, I would be here. If I intercept the ball when the home team is trying to get to the third zone, if I intercept it here, I would get 3 points, right? I would get 3 points. And then now you flip it. I start from my first zone, so I get 2, so that'll be 5. Then I go from here, I'll be 8. And I go from here, that'll be what you call it? That'll be 12. So I get 12 points like that. So defense is very important, chat. Defense at times can get you more points than just a straight linear offense. Yeah, chat. So And you could essentially say in this game, defense could win you championships because defense could get you better point opportunities easily like that. So I think that's about everything when it comes to Zoneball. Hope y'all enjoy. Like, subscribe. Um, we're gonna get more videos later on after this, but see everything. If y'all want a refresher on the formations and shit, you have this shit, right? You have this. Is how it looks on field pretty much. Like I said, you have the front liners right here, the four niggas. The niggas on the side or the side receivers. Nigga in the middle right here, that's the rushing back, and the nigga back here, that's the passing back. You have these three niggas right here. These three niggas right here lined up are the blitz liners. These two niggas are the side defenders. These two niggas are the mid liners, and this is the lurking back. So I think you guys pretty much understand. This is the referee. Right? This nigga's the referee. He has his whole space to himself. This whole diamond space that's out of bounds because this is out of bounds line. So but he has his whole space to himself. Like I said, the ball goes out. If it goes out, suppose the home team makes it go out. Throw in. You do a throw in right here. Do a throw in. And like I said, right here, this is the home team route. They go here. Oh, let me make it red probably. I'll make it. They go here to here to here to here. That's that's the route they take. But suppose you're on away, you'd go here. Oh, make it blue. Go to here, to here, to here, to here. So where you intercept it could determine what zone you end up on for your route. So if I intercept it in their first zone, like I said, like if I intercept it in home team's first zone, I'd end up having I'd gain a point because I just stole their point, right? I stole their points, right? And now I'm in my third zone and I can just go here and get 5 points. So I think y'all understand. I hope everyone understands. 52 minutes. Wow. It takes 52. It took longer to explain the game than to play it. It's crazy, chat. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, share, chat. Because if a Chili's actually ends up making this game, this could be big. This could be big, bro, right? So, share all that shit. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hope y'all thought this was a cool concept. Arnaldo Rios out.